بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين نبينا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. So I want to actually start with a story that you're all familiar with, but it's a very beautiful story to remind ourselves because it's full of lessons. So Ibrahim alayhi salam, he had a dream, and in his dream he saw that he is slaughtering his son. And as you may or may not know, Ibrahim alayhi salam did not have any children for many years, and when he reached his 80s, so that's like quite later in life, and his wife was barren. He was then married to a lady who was gifted to his wife as a servant, and so she, out of her kindness, because they had a very beautiful marriage and a very beautiful relationship, and so when she saw that Ibrahim alayhi salam is he desired to have a family, to have children, but he was not able to with her, and so she gifted this woman to Ibrahim alayhi salam. And so you can see that how well emotionally connected they were, that she knew what he wants and what will make him happy, and rather than feel upset or angry about it, she actually tried to facilitate this for him. And so he finally has a child with Hajar, and this child is a very beautiful child. There are many amazing qualities about him described in the Quran as well. And so when he reaches an age where parents now start to enjoy their children, because you go through the stage where children are really annoying and you think, oh my God, what was I thinking? But then they come to this stage where it's really nice to have them around. You want more time with them. And so he gets to that stage and he has this dream, and he sees that he's slaughtering his son. And so he goes and he tells Ismail alayhi salam that this is what I have seen. And when Anbiya have dreams, that is a form of revelation. So he knows that this is an instruction from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Just like when the Prophet ﷺ, he saw in a dream that he is marrying Aisha radiallahu anha, right? He sees her and he sees this satin cushion, and so he knows that this is an instruction from Allah to marry her. So when he tells Ismail alayhi salam says, do whatever Allah has ordered you to do and you will find me patient. And basically he's saying that you will find me accepting of whatever Allah has commanded. Ismail alayhi salam, you can see what an amazing child he is as well, right? That he is completely willing to submit to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's decision. And so this makes a parent love their child even more, that this is such an obedient child, this is such a pleasing child. He's not putting up a fight, an argument, nothing. And so both father and son, they decide to continue with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's instruction. A day and a place is fixed, and he takes Ismail alayhi salam, they go there, and he tries to slaughter his son. And I know we just say these stories, but these are real human beings. They have hearts, they have feelings, they have attachments, they have emotions, just like we do. And we have to really think hard about, there are so many other lessons in Ibrahim alayhi salam's story when he leaves Hajar alayhi salam. Throughout his life, he's just on his own. If you read his story, you will see that it's always just him. It's just him. It's him alone. Even when he's being thrown into the fire, it's him alone. There's nobody with him. And whenever he has someone, Allah tests him, and Allah asks him to, either leave that person, slaughter that person, etc. So he tries to slaughter him. And again, like I'm saying, that, try to picture this, try and put yourself in his shoes and imagine that he's got the command, he's done it, and when he does it, he's not able to slaughter Ismail alayhi salam. The knife is not going through. You and me would have said, okay, I'm putting the knife on the side, I did what Allah told me and it just didn't work. So it's not my fault, right? I've done my duty. But look at Ibrahim alayhi salam's, commitment to submitting to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He really, as Allah says in the Quran, that, he says, Aslamtu li Rabbil Alameen. He really submits completely, entirely to Allah's decision and Allah's instructions. And so he continues to make an effort. He tries again and he tries again until he hears a voice that says that you have fulfilled the order, and an angel replaces Ismail alayhi salam with a ram, and that is what gets slaughtered. The key here is that life just gets louder and louder and louder until you submit, until you accept Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's decision, until you accept, submit, and do whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has, placed on you at that time. And although, this is a specific story about a specific incident, but the principle can be applied to many situations, right? And unfortunately, Hollywood has us believe that once, you get married, you ride into the sunset and you live happily ever after. Yeah, Bollywood. Yeah. Yeah, Pakistani dramas, whatever, there's usually a good ending, right? And like I said, happily ever after. However, real life is a bit more tangled. And it's not a surprise because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has informed us, right? He, out of His love for us, out of His, concern or His care for us, He has told us that He will test us, that, especially when He gives us a gift, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to see that, are you very busy with the gift? Have you forgotten the giver? And with Ibrahim alayhi salam, it's almost like, Allah loves Ibrahim alayhi salam so much, He wants to help Ibrahim alayhi salam maintain that pure love only for Allah. And the funny thing about love is that the only time that love does not hurt, the only time when love does not cause us any harm or pain is when that love is for Allah. Whenever you have love for anything other than Allah, it will always come with those difficulties, with those challenges, with pain, with heartache, with struggle. And if you really think about it, that is good because it helps us to stay focused on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because if we didn't have that, we would be so easily distracted and forget, what we really should remember and what should really be at the center of our hearts. And so, as I said, that real life is, it's not Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. It's not Beauty and the Beast. It's real life, and it has real situations, real struggles, real problems. As much as we would like to think that, a marriage is a good thing, of course. You're fulfilling the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, right? He said, I get married, and, this was his sunnah. And it's just another phase of life which will have its ups and downs. Your husband is not your personal property, as we would like to think. So things will go up and down, and a marriage is only going to stay consolidated and happy as long as you are working on it. So a lot of the times we just think that once we're married, now I've got this person, I can put him on the shelf like a potted plant, and I can get on with my life. I can focus on other things now because this is done, this ticked off, crossed, now I can do other things. Whereas that's not how it works. And it's something that constantly needs work, it constantly needs attention. Um, and I wanted to actually mention, some specific things about a marriage, but I don't want to go into too many details. Um, but sufficient to say that um, we must have realistic expectations, not only from our marriage, but from all our situations in our lives. As parents, we should have realistic expectations from our children. In marriages, we should have realistic expectations from our spouses. We think that, again, I think it's just Disney and Bollywood and Hollywood that has got us all confused. We just think that, I was really unhappy. My life was difficult. I had a lot of struggles. I just needed to get married. And once I fulfill this, life is going to be a red carpet. And unfortunately, that's not how it works. Um, but like I said, the main thing is that we we thank Allah for whatever comes our way, and we try to submit to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And what do I mean by submit is accept Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's qadr in whatever is written for us. Whatever situations come our way, we accept Allah's qadr, so we submit that way. And that we thank Him for whatever tests come our way. That's one of the ways that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keeps us close to Him. And that is really the main purpose, that why we are here. Marriage, having children, having careers, having all the other things that we do, that's all on the side. But really why we are here is for us to stay connected with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There is something specific that Zahra wanted me to mention, so I'm going to mention that because we're just having a chat. And so we were talking about arzaq, which basically means is the plural of rizq. And a lot of the times, I think we get confused. This is the thing that gives rise to jealousies, for example, is when you see someone has something that you don't have, and you think that, oh, why didn't I have that? When we ask this question, or when we even feel this, it's usually because it's sort of indirectly we are saying that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not know where to distribute the risk, and I knew better, and really this should have been distributed like this. So questioning Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's decision, and inadvertently we're questioning it. I mean, we're not saying that openly. I mean, if somebody was to ask you that, do you think Allah doesn't know where to, who to give this to, or who to bless this with? We would probably say, no, of course we know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows, we don't know. But I'm just saying, when we feel those things, when we get those kind of emotions, then we're really just questioning Allah's distribution of risk. We're questioning Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's decision of what He has given where. So everything that each one of us has at this moment in time, whatever risk Allah has given us, and whatever He has taken away from us, whatever He has given someone else, all these things are exactly and purposefully placed wherever they are. And there is some hikmah behind that, and there is a reason behind that, and it is not for us to question, but it is for us to be satisfied and thank Allah for whatever we have, and also to thank Allah for whatever He has taken away from us and replace that with something else. And inshallah, I hope that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blesses this marriage and this bond, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala puts barakah in it, and that both of them are able to support and help each other to come closer to Allah and to fulfill their ultimate objective, which is inshallah to be together in Jannah eventually. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.
وآخر دعواهم أن الحمد لله رب العالمين.